Rachel, how long ago was it that you were on the show? It's been a while, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while. I think definitely a year and a half or so, and then I came to one of your classes live in Vegas, which was fun. Um,
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Oh, and what did we do? Did we do a podcast in Vegas with you, or did I can't remember.
no, I think I came and I spoke. You had a weekend course, and I came and spoke to your students. It was really
Yeah,
fun.
I do remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was great. Oh, the days of live LSAT instruction.
I think we
Yes,
ordered Five Guys. I seem to remember that.
yes,
No, In and Out, In and Out.
yeah. In
Oh,
and
In and
out.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
we were
Yeah.
right
yeah,
next. It was on campus at UNLV, and it was right next to an In and Out burger. So we went and got In and Out for the class. Yeah, that was a good time.
yeah.
Okay, Rachel. So I guess the first topic to discuss is, networking before law school, or even during law school. Is it futile during COVID, or can kids still be out there hustling?
No, I honestly think it's a huge opportunity. And especially, I mean, we're now in the kids' world, right? I mean, most of the kids that we're talking about grew up with FaceTime, texting, on the computer, on screens all the time. And this is your world. So why not take advantage of it? And if you're an introvert kid, like I was, um, this is a huge opportunity, actually. You find a captive audience, all of the same stuff that I've always preached that people need to do, the research, the figuring out who you are, figuring out what you want, that's all still available to you online. What's even more available to you is people are now just captive at their computers, and you can do those info interviews with people on Zoom. So really it's about just being comfortable on camera, right? And being okay with doing these kinds of interviews with someone who's captive at their computer too. But I really don't think anything's changed. You just got to be ballsy about it and schedule it, and just keep to your schedule and keep meeting with people and talking with people and doing it this way. So there's way more opportunity now.
That's great. I mean, even if the pandemic ended today, obviously some things are going to go back in person, but I think many people are going to realize, you live in Los Angeles or Valencia. I imagine you're pretty happy not to be blasting around in traffic all the time, right? And why can't lawyers do business like this?
Right.
We're still face to face, right?
Right.
I mean, it's an electronic version of face to face, so it is a thing that I think everybody needs to get comfortable with. This is just the way things are for now, and probably the way things will be forever in lots of cases.
Well, and it's been
Only
fascinating.
request. Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like, I work on these mass tort cases now, and it's fascinating to watch everyone just shift over. Even, old school, older attorneys, we're now doing depositions completely online. We're doing court hearings. Judges are up in their robe and on the square up here, and you do a full-on mass tort court hearing where people from all over the country are joining, and that's just the new normal. And I actually don't think those will continue throughout,
Of course.
after this gets better.
Well, the alternative to that is everybody flying in airplanes around the country and getting rental cars and staying in hotels, and just this enormous waste of resources that doesn't need to happen at all. Ben, you were going to make a joke, I think.
Yeah, it's a dumb joke. I
The
was going to
moment has
say, just send the kids back to school. That's all I need, and then keep everything else at home. That's all I want.
I'm with you on that. That has been a challenge, because my home office is in the front of my house, and then the kids' piano is in the back of the house, and they'll have their piano lesson right during the court hearing, which is very difficult to say the least. So
Yeah.
Parenthood just sounds like such a joy to me. I just have such regret for never having kids. Let's see. So I don't know. I'm sure you have other updates for us, Rachel. What else is new these days?
Well, no, I think, as I said in my intro, I shifted my entire career. I was always a defense attorney for many years at Jones Day and Big Law. And then I went to a boutique, and I was still not entirely happy with how things were going. And so I just networked the hell out of my network. I really worked it and was able to place at one of the top plaintiff firms. And I don't think I've ever been happier in my career, actually. And
Wow.
I should have done this earlier.
Did you get a fresh copy of your own book and go through the exercises?
I did the deal. I mean, that's the thing, it was really hard, because if you're going from, defense, I mean, certainly I had certain attributes that were attractive, I think, to the plaintiff bar. The fact that I had been on the dark side, And, I had that insight was a way I could market myself to the plaintiff bar. But yeah, all the stuff that I preach to my students about just picking up the phone, calling people, putting yourself out there, putting it out into the universe. I made that work for me actually to get this position. So yeah, it worked really well.
That book, by the way, is the Law Career Playbook. And you said it's selling well, even during the pandemic?
I have sold more books in August and September than I did in the whole first year that the book came out. It's incredible. And actually, being on Zoom, I've had more people reach out to me through LinkedIn, through Facebook, even Facebook Messenger. I'll have students send me notes and ask for advice, people all over the country. And I actually do Zoom meetings with people now to help them sort of transition and network through this pandemic and give them advice from the book. So yeah, it's doing incredibly well. I think people need that kind of a resource because it's just a big unknown right now.
That's awesome. You've always been really good about letting people reach out to you. How do they get in touch with you if they want to talk about the book?
Yeah, I mean, my email is public. They can email me at Gezerseh at PSB Law. They can email my work email. They can reach out LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn every day. And so the message board on there works really well to get in touch with me. And I'll let people know I've updated a lot of the resources, the charts and the resources in my book. And so I'll email anybody those for 2020. I've got updates. They have a big dumpster fire. No, I'm just kidding. They're they're new for 2020, especially the spreadsheet. So I'll send that to people.
Any plan to actually update the book or a new version of the book?
I am. I'm actually working on a series of articles about networking in the pandemic and, how to reach out and best practices and, the kind of camera or light that you want to have to look better on Zoom. And I'm going to be posting those on the ABA for Law Students website and also updating the book with new chapters. So yeah, there are plans if I can find the time.
Cool. Yeah, well, I mean, not to ask for more of your time, but I think our LSAT Demon classes would love to hear from you as well. So, I mean, we maybe could put our heads together on some sort of a networking class for our kids.
I'd love it.
Cool. Ben, you seem like you've been wanting to ask a question, and I keep talking over you.
Well, I guess I always like the nitty gritty, and I know that your book goes into all that. And so really what people need to do is buy the book, start reading it, and just tackle, a little bit every day. But as you were talking, it reminded me of, I feel like I got this phrase from the book, Never Eat Alone. Have you heard of that book?
Is that a networking book?
It's a networking book. It's like, basically the idea is don't have lunch alone, always be out there meeting people. And I think I got from that book this phrase, which I can't quite say correctly, but it's like the power of like loose ties or small ties, like basically having many small connections is often more effective than having like really, a few really deep connections, because people you don't have a very strong connection with can still be extraordinarily helpful in connecting you with your next job, even though you only know them, through a contact once every 4 months or even, whatever. And I'm wondering, one, is that true? It sounds like that's kind of what you're saying. Like getting out there and just connecting with people. And it's not like you're becoming super tight with all these people, but on some level you're connecting with a lot of people because you don't necessarily know who can help you and what they know and they don't know about you. It's just increasing that flow of information.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think I think the first step is having a goal, right? You have a goal in mind. I want a job and a particular type of job, and then reconnecting with people in your network, whether they're from college, high school, even if you're currently in law school, your classmates, if you haven't talked to them in a while. And, the thing about the pandemic that's great is it gives you something to just talk about, right? Just that alone, just reconnecting. How are you doing? How are you doing in this craziness? And it's that shared sort of universal experience can be an opener to have these conversations with people that you haven't talked to in 6 months or a year. I've had so many people just text me like, are you guys okay? Right? Yeah. Or when the fires happened out here in California, people were texting me. I'm not near them, but you have to look for these openers that you get over the awkward phase of where you haven't talked to someone, but it's like a shared experience you can talk about and then move into, this is what I'm doing. This is what I want. Just wanted to update you. And so I think that's great. And just keeping the strength. I mean, my recent experience with this transition was that I just reconnected back with people in my network, and that's how doors opened for me.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like a friend of a friend, right? Your friend is saying, oh, that's interesting. You want to do that. I think my other friend said that they had an opening that's similar. Let me connect you. And it's just like, you don't even know that person at all, but that is the key to your job or whatever your next step is.
Right. Right. No, it works really well. It's actually incredible. The domino effect of it it's fascinating. And I couldn't believe even at this stage in my career that it still worked.
Cool.
So since everything is on face-to-face online now, I'm noticing, I'm here with like pajamas on. Ben is got the like shadowy background. You're there with like hair and makeup and the beautiful ocean backdrop and everything. Do you have any tips for, like some of our listeners might be about to do an interview for law school? Tips on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it seems obvious to me, but maybe it's not to everyone. I mean, from the waist up, you have to look done. Like you put some effort into the moment, right? And yeah, I mean, I think that there is something, and I will, in the articles I'm writing, I actually have, and I get this from my 13-year-old son, right? He does YouTube videos. There's like a ring light, and it's $30 on Amazon. If you get that and plug it in by your computer, it puts that little ding in your eyes, and you just look more alive. You look more friendly, right? It's little things like that. Having a separate camera. I have a Logitech camera on top of my computer that just sort of opens up and it just brightens. And if you are doing interviews actively, even informational interviews, it's worth it, I think, to invest in these kinds of things to just look better. Because this is the world now. This is how you're connecting with people.
Or if you're an online LSAT teacher or a podcaster.
All of the above.
All right, Ben, what do you think? Should we step up our game?
I've always thought about stepping up my game, but I still haven't done it. And I have PJs on. So yeah, today's been a busy day, actually.
You guys look great. I'm buying what you're selling. So it's all good.
That's awesome. Well, Rachel, thanks for stopping by. Ben, do you have other items for Rachel?
I think one thing you just said, Rachel, was people have to decide what their goal is, right? And then start reaching out to people. And you also said that, connecting with people you haven't talked to in 6 months, a year, maybe even longer, right? The pandemic can be a great way to do that. I'm just wondering if you have any other specific tips for someone to get the ball rolling, right? Someone's listening to this, like, oh yeah, I get it. I should try connecting with people. I don't know, like, how do you even decide which people you're thinking? You said law school classmates, right? A lot of these listeners haven't even gone to law school. So
right.
What network do they even look to if they feel like they don't have one?
Yeah, but you do. I mean, everyone I think is on Facebook or on some kind of a social media. Start there. Like just start with a list, right? Of just people. And if you want to use the 6-month metric, people you haven't talked to in a few months, since school started, or people from high school, old teachers, right? And just find a way to reconnect. It's actually, the way I look at it, it's all an exercise. You're just exercising these muscles to get more comfortable with yourself in just talking to people. So make a list of 10 people, set a goal, get an accountability partner, have a friend maybe who's in the same situation as you, and you guys set a schedule, right? And you just start reaching out and having these kinds of conversations. It's a great transition to becoming a professional, because you're gonna have to do this. If you're gonna be a lawyer, you're gonna have to hustle for business. I don't care, defense, plaintiff, whatever, you're gonna have to learn these skills anyway. So it's a really great way to exercise these muscles. And this is your world, this is your online world. So you should have that feeling of comfortability in the first place, and then just take it, put it on steroids and just take it with you.
And a lot of this is you're not like in their face. You're just saying, hey, how's it going? And then once it comes up, you say, yeah, you know what? I'm looking for a career change. I'm going to do this, or I want to do that. Or I'm planning to go to law school, and I'm trying to talk to people who know about law.
Internships I might be interested in, just things, skill sets. Do you know anyone else doing this kind of thing? I mean, it's like that. I mean, you're building out something that's going to sustain you as you move forward into these transitions in your life.
Yeah. Cool. That's all. Thank you, Rachel. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was good to see you guys.
Yeah, nice to see you, Rachel. Let's try to not have it be a year and a half
No, for
until
sure.
your next
For
stop
sure.
by.
All
Awesome.
right, I'll see you guys soon.
Okay,
Bye.
that's Rachel Gezerseh, by the way, Gezerseh.